Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we are going to have a very, very, very special guest, a super illustrious guest on the show. I flew out to Joplin, Missouri to interview one of our founding mothers, as I call her, Keli Starr. We're going to be talking about all of the things that she experienced during her wellness journey. One of the highlights is she was able to reduce or pretty much eliminate the loose skin that she got, not from being overweight, but from being a mother and having children. She was able to restore her hair, start turning her hair color back black, and just a myriad of other things. We're going to be getting into some really in-depth topics, some brand new topics for the channel. So this is going to be a good one. Definitely get yourself some popcorn and some snacks ready. This is going to be a bumpy ride, y'all, but it is going to be an amazing ride. We're going to be talking about parasite flushes and just all sorts of things. So strap in, okay? I'm going to break this one up into a couple different parts for you. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the interview. We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual. What do you want me to refer to you as? Keli Starr? Or?
Yeah, so I got a divorce from my husband and I legally changed my name because I really didn't like the name Teresa ever in my life. I would say Teresa means harvester. I'm not a harvester. So when I was in the process of doing a divorce, I was showing my mom different name selections. Mm-hmm. And one of the names was Keli, but it was spelled very similar to how my mom wanted to name me. Mm. And my daddy refused. He was like, Teresa is the name of every firstborn female, and her name's going to be Teresa. Mm. Thanks a lot, Daddy. But that's okay.
Tradition.
Yeah. So it was just me, especially on this journey that I am on, just this expressiveness of who I am, is just having fun with it. And Star, because we're made of everything in the universe. Everything the star. Yes, the magic stardust. That's how I always say it. Yeah.
So you legally changed your name to Keli Starr.
I
didn't know that.
You want to see my driver's license? Do we need to have documents?
I mean, I believe you, but I mean,
just so you two people need it. I have it.
If you want.
It's a cute picture.
Because you know what? Because one thing that I learned, I was observing my friends as we were growing. Uh-huh. And I noticed that my friends were taking on the traits of their name. Whatever the meaning of their name was, they were developing into that person in one form or another.
Yeah.
And so I took it, like I was probably like 13, I was probably like 16 when I really like realized this. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, we got to take it very seriously what we name our children. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
it's very true.
Yeah, if you talk down to your children, you say, "Hey, stupid, come over here," and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. They are going to take on that. Mm-hmm. So I think, hey, if you don't like your name or if you don't like the meaning, especially, change it. Because you don't be planting nothing.
Not anymore. No.
Being able to plant and grow a garden, I mean, that's good. We need that.
Yeah.
Though. We need harvesters, though.
Yes. I'm more of a fighter. Give me a sword.
Really?
Not very combative in this realm of reality, but just that,
I got you. My name apparently means Christ bearer.
That's pretty dope.
I don't.
You know why? Because go ahead. I don't want to cut you.
No, I'm just saying I don't know exactly what that means, though.
Mm-hmm. Like the things that I've learned, because I'm not a lot of what I used to be, even when it comes to religion, and we all have our own journey with that. So I'm never in opposition or debate with anyone on that. Love everybody. So, but what was so amazing to me about our 33 vertebrae and the caduceus, and then reaching higher consciousness in Christ, and even dealing with the grapes and the hair that are in our logo, it is your greatest elevation of self. You have risen to the highest you. That is what the consciousness of Christ, the revelation that I have in my journey.
So very.
I feel like we should not have to regurgitate the same information continually. I'm like,
Right.
when is it a point when we evolve? Why are we constantly like stuck? Like this needle is stuck in this record, saying the same thing, doing the same thing every year. Do we get past this? It's just like I've been working on these breathing exercises, these little tummy rotations that I learned from this beautiful soul on Facebook, Taisha, girl. I don't even know.
Shout out to Taisha.
Okay,
hopefully she watches.
Girl, inspiration. But holding your breath, you get to a place where I feel like I'm going to die if I just keep holding my breath. But if you just go a few more seconds, you have this euphoric feeling. And that's about, to me, what evolution is, evolving. Like you level up just like you do in a video game. You get new weapons, like that weapon that worked in the other one that you done killed all the with does not work. You're on this other level, and it's just like, I'm stronger, but my stuff don't work because you have to grow. You're growing in something else. So that's, evolution. 33. You got 33 vertebrae. Like,
yeah.
And it doesn't stop. It's just
the vertebrae. Have you heard that the vertebrae are also connected to the teeth some way too?
Everything, yes.
Well, yeah, obviously, I guess.
Oh my gosh. When people get cavities, things I wish I would have known back then when I got my tooth drilled. That's a freaking organ also. Like, it's just telling you it's in distress. I have had, like, on this side, like, my little liver, my digestive system, my teeth were, like, changing colors. And when I began to heal my intestines through colon cleansing and the little exercises with the tummy, it was just like, are you serious? Everything is a warning.
Right.
It's like a spark plug in your car. It's like, I need to be replaced. What are you doing?
Yeah. And that's the truth. Even I got a pimple.
Yeah.
Like a little, it's going down now, but I got this little pimple because ever since the quarantine, I just been eating like Jimmy John's and stuff that I don't normally eat. My schedule is all kind of thrown off. And my body warns me whenever I start getting crazy with how I eat. And it to me, understanding that helps keep me, reeled in. So I don't get too far.
Yeah.
But it's like no one thinks of a pimple as, hey, your organs are distressed.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, you get acne or whatever. Oil.
Or get you some medication.
Put a cream on it or something.
Yeah. And push it in. It's really still there.
Right. So we have, it's so important to learn how to read the signals of the body. I'm so upset about my teeth. They have destroyed my teeth over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been researching and I hear that you can regrow teeth.
You can. And they even have always in China, right? They have done growing of teeth with urine. Yeah.
I think I did hear that. Now, okay, so we're gonna definitely get into that.
For all y'all haters.
All the haters.
Yes. I smell good too. I smell like a cake.
Yeah, cake and copper.
See?
Yeah, it's like cake and copper. For real. I was thinking that. I'm like, is that the copper or But I actually have been waiting to introduce the group to urine therapy. I've been waiting to do the interview with you
ready.
So that we could talk about urine therapy, because I think out of everybody I know, you've been the most consistent, because I've only dabbled. I haven't really, you know what I mean? So I don't even, we're all over the place right now, but we'll just go with the flow. We'll just go with the flow since we're already here. First of all, what is urine therapy and why are you drinking your own pee?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it started like a research thing in 2015 when I was trying to figure out how do I get control of this body that I felt like was failing me. And I read about it. I was like, maybe later. Right. Honestly, 2016, I watched this woman on YouTube. She was singing, drinking her pee, And her hair was just beautiful. Her skin was radiant. And I was so there, Dave Moore,
Yes.
Chandra, Brian Justice. I mean, there's so many people who are on this journey that when you look at them, it's just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So when I had my first sip, it was so euphoric. I remember someone making fun of me about saying it was euphoric. They was like, I bet it was. All that toxic stuff.
Right.
But I promise you, it was, for me, it was like every cell in my body was just like, finally. And some of the things that I know, because I'm always an all-in type of person, either when I do it, I'm going to go hard. I really have learned to shut negativity out because this is my own journey. I mean, why do you care about me so much? Do your thing. I'm not making you drink pee.
Right.
So when I started to drink the urine, I was like looping all day long. I was still eating.
Now, what is looping?
Looping means like you pee and you drink. You pee and you drink. It's just this continuous cycle.
Okay.
So the more that I did that, and the more from my research where people had promoted that way, they said the urine becomes cleaner, it tastes almost just like water. And it really does. Not always, sometimes depending on what you eat or what condition you may have going on. But I just started to notice things change. I had boils that literally popped up in my scalp. I was a hairdresser for many years, so I was like exposed to a lot of carcinogenic things, and also a user of relaxers. So I just thought that was a lot of that coming out of my scalp. I had these knots behind my ears that began to go away. And I remember seeing my mom after I hadn't seen her maybe for several months. And she was like, girl, look like you had a facelift. It's just pee. Because like in your pee, there's stem cells. And when I learned that too, I'm like, well, who doesn't want that? I don't have to go and buy these from some doctor that's going to try to inject it in me from something else. I mean, like I make this shit myself. Also, when you fast. So it's a win-win with that. And contrary to what people may think, yes, it is a part of the fluid that we are all in when we're babies. It helps us to grow. Whether you want to receive it or not, I'm not here for a debate. So if you have an issue with it, look in the mirror at yourself. It's not a topic for me because I will not entertain it. But this is 50 years old. I mean,
what?
Yeah, 1969. I'm like one of those fine cars that someone has just really taken good care of.
Classic.
Yes. Who would I be? I don't know. I think about that and I'll come back with
I love meeting women, especially who like have taken on some sort of health regimen and are showing us through their appearance that when you do these things, whether it's drinking proper water and hydrating, exercising, eating better, urine therapy, whatever the case may be, that this stuff works, because that's what I'm all about. It's like, we all talk about these things, but let's do it, and then let's show through our, our physiology and our lifestyle that it works.
Yes.
Now, just to give people a little bit more clarity with the urine therapy, what are some, so basically it causes you to, with stem cells being in the urine therapy, then basically the stem cells are looking for anything that's wrong, because a stem cell can replace any other cell.
Yeah.
So you have any type of cellular damage, this is a great way to go about doing that. Is there anything else, like, can people use this to reverse like diseases, cancer, diabetes?
Even though you really can't tell people that anything is a cure these days just because of legal ramifications.
Illegal.
I would say it is an option. Do your own research. Get permission from your doctor if you need that too. But do your own research, and you will find that there are a lot of studies where people have reversed a lot of disease. And disease means you're not in balance. So the urine helps you find proper balance. Is it the only thing? No. But it is a beautiful tool. And that's what I have learned on this journey. Everything has an opposite, and every opposite must have harmony. So when you find that balance within yourself, then everything runs like this beautiful machine that it should.
Right. And the body is like, it all works synergistically. And it's all about harmony. I guess that's where that whole yin and yang thing comes from. You know?
Yeah. The caduceus again, you know, masculine energy, masculine and feminine energy coming together as one, learning how to have harmony instead of discord. So you can rise. It's all about elevation.
I agree with that. Yeah, I was very, very intrigued. I cannot remember if it was actually Dave's book, Dave Moore.
He is amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely amazing. He's one of the people who inspired me to actually start fasting. I think I learned about fasting for healing from Dr. Sebi. I think that was the first time I heard about it. But Dave is the one who did the experimentation, and he put it on YouTube, and I was able to follow all his experiments, and I was just like blown away at his results.
Right.
So I really did kind of follow and mimic some of the things that he did. But it was either in his book or another book. I read about a lady in China. I think she was in China. She was gardening and like cut either all of her finger off or most of it.
Yeah.
And of course, they wanted to take her to the doctor. You know, they were going to probably they were either going to sew it back on or, you know, nub. I can't remember.
Or sew it up.
Sew it up. And she was just like, no, I'll be fine. So she just took some gauze and she wrapped it in gauze and she soaked the gauze in urine. Yeah. And as the story goes, over the period of 3 days, she kept it fresh urine on it. And it either, I can't remember if it had completely healed. I think it had completely healed in 3 days. I've even heard stories of people being able to regrow fingers that had been, you know, cut off, nubs and stuff, because I think the energetic signature that is our finger, it's always there. But then what we do is we go to the doctor and they'll seal it so that it can't grow anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like the process that we go about fixing stuff or whatever, patching stuff up causes the body, it stunts the body's ability to regrow, because we do have that ability to like regrow organs like the liver and things like that.
Yeah. Isn't it brilliant?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and this is, you know, always like elementary 101. We should know this already so we can go on to other things. But it is just beautiful when we realize how much power we have and how much control we have over this vehicle that we reside in. Yeah. And I feel like while we are here, it should be youthful, functional, and you should be able to enjoy the abundance of life. And another thing that I have learned on this journey, have you ever felt like your space is a reflection of who you are? Like I've saw cluttering and junking and all of this crazy stuff going on. But when you began to clean out that space, do you realize how much comes to you? Yeah. Like, it's just like, I want some of her, I want some of that. Because, you know, we're like, it's beautiful. My mom always says, the more you let go, the more you can get.
That's true.
Just let it all go. Just like, girl, but let it go. But anyway.
But you got to be willing, because that's scary for a lot of people. People become attached to their physical objects and material things, and they think they're losing something.
You're not losing anything. It is hard. It is hard. Like, for example, our store, you know, it closed not because we said we want to be on vacation. It closed because we were at a financial deficit and we had to recover from that. But during this journey, I had to get to a place within myself where I said, okay, I'm willing to let it all go. And I'm okay with that because I know what else is available that I am opening myself up to will be more beautiful and brilliant than anything I could have ever dreamed. And it has been, you know, I'm sitting here talking to you.
Well, I that's very flattering. And I want to bring up your store because I've been sipping on one of the drinks from your store. This is mango, pineapple, and orange.
Yes. Abracadabra.
It's delicious. And
Thank you.
This is okay. So this is a juice, but you also have smoothies.
Yes, fresh pressed juices and smoothies, gourmet smoothies. Everything is 100% natural. We compromise nothing with artificial flavors, sugars, just colors. It's straight fruit.
It's just fruit.
Yeah.
And
the technique is amazing, very proprietary. he thought there were bananas in it. In the smoothie that he has.
Yeah, the smoothie is extremely thick, and it's pineapple and mango and dates.
And with fresh pressed pineapple mango juice.
Right. So I don't know how it's that thick. It's like if y'all ever had the triple thick McDonald's shake. I hate comparing your shake to a McDonald's shake. But it's just give people maybe an idea. You couldn't get it through the straw. Super, super thick. Very good.
Yeah.
So
and very filling.
Yeah, what's your
So if you're hungry, you'll be full.
Right. Just have a shake.
So it is.
I was gonna say what's the names, because you know when the stand comes back.
Yes, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
We are survived. Yes. It is Take a Stand, LLC. And the name basically means, because people are like, what does that mean? Are you anti something? No, we're anti nothing. We promote you taking a stand for whatever resonates with you. So what we take a stand for is quality. We never will compromise the quality of our product. It will always be on top.
Super important. You know what I noticed growing up? Whether it was Pizza Hut or Papa John's or freaking Hershey's candy bar, the quality of the product, even though they started off with crappy quality, right? But the quality of the product has diminished over time, you know, in order to make more money or whatever, you know, they use more artificial things. Ultimately, it's to make us sicker, honestly.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I love how juice, you don't need to do anything. And that was the thing I understood. Like when I started squeezing my own juice, I was like, wait a minute. This is already so sweet, I have to water it down.
I know, right? Exactly.
So it's like, why are you
missing out? Yeah.
Yeah, we've been missing out. Yeah. So, okay. Let's go back a little bit and let's talk about like some of the things. Where were you that kind of put you on this path? Because
lots of things.
Yeah.
So my first major flip was in 2010. I was turning 40 and my whole face broke out. I was just like, but I'm 40. Why is this happening to me? I was just a committed user or proactive, and it had worked for me for many, many years. But with products like that I have learned for myself, do your own thing. Don't come for me. It only suppresses, it only pushes things in. So if you never get to the why you have an issue, you're not going to resolve the problem, and it will come back, and it will come back with a vengeance. That's how the body is, because it's just like, we're really tired of this, and we really need for you to really resolve this issue. I'm sorry, this is rated G.
No, go ahead.
Okay. But so when I started to eliminate things from my diet, I took bread out and sugar and dairy out, and I saw profound results with healing. So my body was not having to really isolate those things and encapsulate it and put it somewhere where it would wreak havoc within.
Correct.
But that was not the end, because when 2014 came, I had gone on to a missions trip to Haiti, and I learned from this lady who is from there. She was like, it means transformation. I remember being there on this missions trip and looking at the children, and they would have boils and missing hair and just, you know, a lot of weird skin things. And I was like, well, one day I really want to figure out how to help them. How can I do that? And when I came back from my trip, I remember looking at myself in the mirror, and I was just like, that's another thing. You can look at yourself and really tell like something that's not right. I don't know what it is. And then before I knew it, I was getting boils. I was just like for real. I didn't want to have my own personal experience. That was not,
that was part of the plan.
No, I was like, for real, am I getting punked? For real, Ashton. Back in the day, if y'all don't know. But as this craziness was going on, when my body was getting I got the boils, I got rashes, and then I have pictures.
Mm-hmm. We'll be sprinkling all the pictures.
Oh my gosh, my hair was coming out. It looked like I had ringworm, but it wasn't itchy. And I had gone to several doctors. They could not definitively say this is what you have, but here, take this and just see how this goes. It could really be helpful. And I remember I took a few pills and I was feeling a certain kind of way. And I'm like, no, I just refuse to do this to myself. And I just learned to take control of my life. I met a homeopath who put me on a bioreader where you put your hand on this device. I think some of the systems are called Zyto. And it was able to read, because we're energy guides. So it was able to read my energy levels and categorize all of the things that were going on with me. Right. I had parasites, I had fungus, and I had parasites, because pathogens are parasites. No matter how they come, they're living for free off of you and eating you up. So they don't have to be worms, for real. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. So I had staph infection. I have a picture where I was literally my skin was being eaten away here in my jaw. It was not painful. It was very subtle, very subtle. I always tell people, when it comes to the skin, your skin could potentially look like it's okay, but these things are so clever. They will recess and hide like chameleons. And then, they'll kind of pop their little ugly head out every now and again. They'll just lay nice and flat. And then one day you'll be like, what? So yeah, a lot of that was going on with me. So she put me on a cleanse, and that was very helpful, but I knew that I needed to do more. I came across this gentleman named Tyler Tolman, and he is an amazing guy who has a healing center in Bali. His dad, Don Tolman, started this whole protocol that Tyler was able to watch, and it nurtured his passion for helping people learn how to heal themselves. So I was taking a lot of his advice on fasting. My first fast was for 6 days. I was with my mom, separated from my husband at that time. And I remember her saying, girl, your eyes look like they're going to pop out your head. We'll have to take you to the hospital. Everybody be afraid. I mean, they'd be like, girl, you going to kill yourself. You going to kill yourself. I was like, no, Mom, I'm going to be fine. And I was. And the results were just amazing, amazing. And every fast that I did from that point on, I got results. But what I learned on this journey was some things will come back. I may have a little rash. I'm like, it's going forever. It's going forever. Right. And that little thing will come back. See, what pathogens do, guys? This is what I think. When we be fasting, they be like, oh, so you ain't gonna eat. We get ready to go hibernate. Yeah. And when you start again, we coming out and we go mess you up. And they do. They really do. So what I learned, Dr. Jennifer Daniels, thank you. Turpentine, learning how to go in with things like turpentine to help balance and clean the body and help the terrain to stay at a stable place.
Now, isn't turpentine, a lot of people believe that turpentine is toxic or poisonous. What is turpentine actually?
It is from the bark of the pine tree. That's simple. You use essential oils since then, like an essential oil from the bark of the pine tree. From the bark. So, I mean, if you drink the whole bottle, it might kill you. But, you take in a small doses. I mean, look,
So you got to know what you're doing with it, because I know Dr. Jennifer. She has different protocols, and there's a certain way to do it, especially to increase the effectiveness of it. But it's not like some deadly toxic chemical.
No, but there are times when, especially when you first start the therapy, if I can use that word, I am using that word because I can. You may feel like it's affecting you in that way, but what really is going on is that you're toxic and you're feeling the effects of that detox. So you may need to reduce your dosing or reduce the days that one is taking it. You know, I cannot tell anyone what to do. This is what I do.
Right.
You know, do what you want to do. But, or you can tell people, it's like, get a book and read it, research. You know, find things that resonate with you and stop putting the blame on other people for what you are willing or not willing to do. Because that's really unfair to you. It doesn't matter, like, who you have that issue with because you don't agree.
Right.
But I always say, if I see someone and something is working for them, then I'm interested. Let me see how this will benefit me. Instead of like browbeating someone. Why?
Exactly.
It's so unnecessary.
Just learn about it. Have an open mind.
And you don't have to do it. That's the whole thing. We are all these beautiful, beautiful individual lives. We should be able to live it exactly the way that we want without restriction. You know, it's unfortunate. Oh, I will tell you this funny thing. Like I was fruitarian like one whole summer going into the fall. Yeah, it was going into the early fall. And then I just began to incorporate other things in. But during this process, I was making a lot of videos and I was putting some things on YouTube. And then the meat community, like the people who like to eat meat, got a hold of like one of my videos and I was like this tiny and they blasted me. I think they called me delusional, but no.
You're still here.
So still here. I'm looking great. You know, it's just like people don't understand the process of the body healing.
Correct.
It will go to a place where it just looks like you need to go to the hospital, you're going to kill yourself, and you just have to let it happen. And it goes back again to like you have to learn how to surrender and let everything go. Just let it go. And that even
vanity.
It'd be like there are times when I get so tidy I'd be like, why am I doing this to myself? But it's so worth it. When you build back up, you're not building back with old stuff.
Right.
You have new stuff that you're building back with, believe it or not. But it's so worth it.
That is the beauty of it, because I still got some videos that I pictures and things that I haven't even put out because like you would probably be like, yo, Chris, you're going to die. Like you get to a point where you just look really, really bad. And if you let people know what you're doing, or if they see you that way, they're going to be very concerned. They're going to think, you know, everybody thinks you're anorexic, especially.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you.
Let me tell you, I have family members like they feel like a SOS. I think they all got together and said we're going to have an intervention.
Yeah,
like I'm on crack or something.
Right.
Do you not love yourself? Your arm is so skinny. And I was like, but your arm is so fat and all of y'all are on medication. So I'm not.
Right.
And have you understood or have you like gone in and researched fasting to see what that is about? And until you educate yourself, you cannot have a conversation with me.
And that's the thing. I always tell people, like, when you're going to do this, you learn study the process as much as possible. I mean, there's only certain things that you're going to be able to experience going through it, but you can have a bird's eye view of what you're going to experience before you get into it. That's going to make you strong, and you're going to be more committed because you understand it. You're not going to, people aren't going to be able to like get you to sway as easy.
Never.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm the type of person, when I was going through it, especially early on, I would tell everybody because I was excited.
Right.
And people were so negative. And I'm just a very strong person. I'm like, I don't care what you say. Okay, if people be like, you're going to die, I'm like, all right, cool. I would say, well, how long? If I'm fasting, how long before I die? They'd be like 10 days. I'd be like, all right, I'll see you on day 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
And you look great. I mean, honestly, for real.
Thank you. I mean, I'm still young, you know.
Yeah.
I'm still young.
Yeah, I'm catching up though with you. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna be 20 soon.
My goal, I've told people before, my goal is to freeze right here. Boom, not getting any older.
Yeah.
Just keep
Hilton
on.
Hotima. Remember he was talking about the men in the field who are 100 and the men who are 20 years old, and he couldn't tell the difference. God.
That is powerful. Yeah. That is Man's Higher Consciousness, 1962. If for y'all who are vibing with this conversation, check that book out. That book is transformational.
Yeah.
So Hilton Hotina, yeah.
Yes.
This is just all over the place, but I just wanted to talk about this chain because I didn't have this chain when I walked in here today. This was a gift from Keli, and this thing is so beautiful. Like, I'm not a gift person. So anybody who knows me, they know you don't get Chris stuff. He don't care. Like, I just don't care. You don't need to show me through giving me stuff. That's not my love language. But this thing is so beautiful. She wrapped this stone, this is amethyst, in copper. How many feet? This is all handmade.
Yeah, the chain itself is about 30 feet of copper, and this maybe 5.
5 feet of copper. So you're talking almost 40 feet of copper to make this handmade. It's weighty. It's gorgeous. There's so much detail in it. And I'm not like a big jewelry person, but I'm going to be rocking this. Y'all are going to see this a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, you do create these pieces for people. And
I do. And at our local color of art gallery, my jewelry is featured on the website. It's the local color of artgallery.com, and I can send you all of that information over.
We're definitely going to put it out there. Y'all, I'm lucky. Okay, I'm lucky. Y'all need to get you one of these. These are insane.
And just the energy that's connected with copper is just so brilliant. It's just everything in this world is in love with us. And just the passion that copper has to just create such a beautiful force and energy that is always clean for us is just amazing.
Yeah, copper is what, electrician, that's typically what electricians use. I know because I used to be one. And one of the things that I thought was super interesting about learning about electricity is when you use like a transformer. From when I was a layman and I didn't know anything about this, I just assumed that with the transformer, everything was connected and whatever. Transformers, you have power coming in, it boosts, or whatever the transformer is designed to do. It might boost the amperage or whatever. And then when it comes out, it's more than what it started with. And it uses copper windings inside to do that. Wow. And they don't touch. It boosts it. And then it just collects and it goes on. It's really amazing how energy works. And we are energetic creatures. So it's important to understand this and be in tune with this. And I'm loving this. And I got some of y'all probably seen, I got that piece of moldavite that I wear. I'm going to have Keli strap that up for me too. Pimp it out.
Yes. But so you to have Pimp My Ride.
Yeah. The exhibit. That's a terrible show. So, since you mentioned the urine therapy again, how do you actually do it? Like, what is involved?
So I collect mine. Some of it I save. Brian, who is the love of my life, he will save them for years. Me, I'm kind of greedy because I like to drink mine all the time. But like, you can save it and age it. And the older it gets, the more nourishing it is for the skin. And you can do like rubbing of your skin just with that aged urine. But what I do, I collect my urine during the night, maybe midday, and I save it for the next day without trying to be greedy. And I have enough to cleanse my skin. Okay. I use it to clean my body and,
Okay.
my face.
Yeah.
Models use it. Y'all didn't know that. It's in the medical communities. It's in medicines for the heart. So urea. Think of you.
Right.
There's so many words that they play with. Just do your research.
You know what? That reminds me of a story. I was once again, who knows? I've done a lot of research and I just move on. But I was a story about some guy who was like the CEO or the owner of the Porta-Johns, like when Porta-Johns first came out. And he had some type of contract or agreement with a beauty company or something, health and beauty company, where he would filter out the urea, I think it was, out of the urine and like sell it. They had like filters in the Porta-Johns. I mean, I'm sure they probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story. It's true.
And then what they started doing was using like horse urine
female urine for women who were going through menopause. And it's very sad if you guys do research on that, how they just capture them like they're little, I don't know, just thrown away and held in these little stalls.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
therefore pregnancies and the urine from a pregnant horse is what is necessary to create that product. It is very beneficial in that
because
way.
The urine from a pregnant woman, female woman, there's also a product that's created from that for weight loss. My brother used to do it. I used to make fun of him.
It's a what is that called? I know. Is it
H something?
They
know.
Okay,
they know
what is it, y'all?
They'll put it in the comments.
I had a lady I used to know. She used to inject it.
Wow.
Yeah, she would order it online. It was an injectable type.
All they're doing is collecting this from a pregnant woman's urine. My brother would take it, and he did. He lost weight. Of course, he was doing a lot of other stuff with it. This was back in 2009, so this is way before Healthy Alternative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't know nothing. We were just going to the gym, calories in, calories out. We didn't know what we were doing. But yeah, so it's interesting how they tell us it's a toxic waste product, but it's like 95% water, and then like all these essential nutrients and minerals.
Very viable nutrients and minerals, strategically measured for you. And if you're sick, oh my gosh, I had eaten too many Brazil nuts one day. And I was not breathing right. And so I'm sitting up there with my husband at the time, and I'm just like, I tell him, because he already think I'm crazy.
Right.
If I tell him, he's just going to be like, see, you done tried to kill yourself. I told you. So I just went. It was the very first time I did this with the urine. I went and took it and held it under my tongue like I had read. And immediately I was able to regain the opening of my lungs where I could breathe properly. That is how much in love your body is with you.
Right.
It is brilliant.
Yes. And I actually heard that you can use the urine using that same technique where you just put a few drops under your tongue when you have an allergic reaction, and you will eventually develop, you know, whatever it is you need, the antibodies, whatever it's called, so that you don't get allergic to that thing.
That's very true. Yeah.
What was that guy's name? The hydrate water guy. Andrew Norton Weber. Andrew Norton Weber. He was talking about how he was allergic to walnuts.
Research and shared a lot of information in the community. Yeah.
And the reason why I like him and his stories is he was talking about his experiences, right? That always resonates with me because that's what I like to do on a Healthy Alternative. Obviously, I go out of my way to interview people. Like, I've been wanting to talk about urine therapy for so long, but I said, it's going to be with Keli. Like, I'm going to, you know what I mean? Because I've known about this for years. I just didn't share it with the group because, you know, people don't be ready.
Yeah, and it's okay because there's so many. Like, that's what I love about your group, because you call it a healthy alternative. There are so many alternatives. This may not work for you, but you know, maybe back there in your mind, one day, maybe one day. Yeah.
There's so much to learn about the body and healing. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
It really is. And I always tell people urine therapy is not the only thing. As I said before, there's so much more. Just like when I learned how to clean my colon. That was amazing. I learned from Taisha on Facebook was an inspiration for me to really go hard on that. I had done colon cleansing before, but not to the magnitude that she was like suggesting, and the information and that she was saying, hey, y'all might want to read this book. So I found Dr. Bernard Jensen PDF online and read it in its entirety and learned so much. Even like these lines here are your colon lines, and if they're deep and sagging, that's what your colon is looking like.
I certainly didn't know that.
I didn't either. I know lifting. Look, when you show them pictures, they'll see. They'll be like, "Oh, they got her face lift it up." No,
it does look like you did the. What do they even do? They're like cutting skin and they're like pulling it up.
Look, y'all ain't got no.
It's the like a natural facelift.
Yeah, it really is. Mm-hmm. And so, like, when you resolve a lot of issues that are going on internally with your organs, then also those things are reflective in the meridian that is connected to, whether it is like you have mentioned, your tooth or your face or anywhere on the body, because everything is always trying to give you a sign. It's like, oh, we ain't gonna look at, but mostly because we're looking at this all the time. Right. It's just like our eyes.
Iridology.
Yes, the spherology also with the white part of the eye. Yeah, it's amazing to me. I was having a lot of issues with my liver, but I had issues ever since I was a little baby. I was born jaundice, as well as all my children. But you don't realize, like, again, we're talking about energy. We are carrying not only energy from other lives, we're carrying energy from where our parents have held that are transferred over into us. And being jaundice, that deals a lot with our liver. It deals with the kidney and how they cohesively function together. I used to have so much of a bag issue when I was a little girl. I would be like, why are my eyes like this? And and my grandmother had the same thing, and I was like, well, maybe I'll be like grandma, but I really don't want to be like grandma. So let's figure this out. But on this journey of like even starting with the colon and going into Dr. Moretz's book with the gallbladder liver flush. Is it the Amazing Gallbladder liver flush? I always get those kind of
the Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush, Dr. Andreas Moritz.
Yes, it's a beautiful book.
Oh man, that book, and he looked really good too.
He did. He really did.
There's a lot of healers that have died early for this reason or that reason. And I always wonder. One thing I will say, I find that a lot of people who take on that almost like a burden of helping people, they tend to put a lot on themselves and they don't take care of themselves properly. So I know that's some of the case, but then sometimes it'd be like, still looked like he was doing really well. And, it just makes me wonder, like, what's going on?
And then too, just like I was saying, the things that I was doing early on, I felt like I was missing some steps, and then like you kind of go back and say, well, why am I still getting this rash in the same spot? And I've been on the fast for 100 days. It just doesn't make sense. So when I started to clean the inner terrain, that's when the magic really started to happen, because you are decongesting the organs. You're allowing them to have optimal function and to be able also to carry the burden of the fast itself, because it really does stress the organs out when we are fasting. And I remember like feeling like if I'm fasting and everything is getting clean to some effect, but the liver especially, which is responsible for removing toxins before all of that enters into the kidney, it's a lot. And my liver had suffered. My hands were yellow for so long, especially when I got really sick in 2014. Just yellow. I would hold my hands up to my kids' hands and I would say, oh shoot, my hands are still yellow. Just and then one day, I would say recently, as last year, one of the little grands was like, your hand is really pink. It's like, oh, finally. But that I have done a lot of liver flushes. A lot. And just staying consistent with that. And really also finding what is your truth in it. Because there's so many ways. And even looking at Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl McDaniel.
Shout out to Cheryl.
Hi, girl. You're such an inspiration too. So, oh my gosh, like she'll talk about the liver flush and just like, her tart cherry juice. It doesn't have to just be this one way.
Right.
What works for you, and just have fun with it. How are you expressing yourself through this cleanse? Is just the brilliance and the alchemy of it. Because we're all like these alchemists. Figure it out, like I said, no one way.
Yeah, and that's why when I speak to people, whether I'm doing one-on-one consulting or even just like as a whole, when I talk to the group, I'm never like, this is how you have to do it.
No,
I don't like that cultish mentality that sometimes people get. I think that people should really just, whatever resonates with you, pull it out, use it, be consistent with it, and always be looking to grow and develop, because I certainly don't have all the answers. I'm just getting started.
I know, y'all.
You know?
We just got here.
Shoot.
We babies.
Yeah. And one of the things that I learned, and this is part of the reason why I be telling people, like, my goal is to live, 2-3 times as long as our traditional human, is because there's so much to learn, and we have so little time. We're dying at 70, 80 years old. And
that's so young.
That's so young.
See, because I'm real close to that.
So it's like the very first thing in my mind is, I need to expand my lifespan. Because I don't have enough time and just think about all of the daily stressors in our life, job and bills and all of the things that clutter our existence. It's like, we have to get rid of that.
Yes.
Then we have to get healthy, which is super basic.
Yes, it is.
And then, only then can we even start to grow for real.
You were right. 100%.
It's crazy.
Yes. I have this attitude now. I won't say the F-bomb, but F-bomb. Just F-bomb it. It's just like, this is what I can do. This is what I'm working with, and I am enough. And this is enough. And I go as hard as I can, and I'm good. And just not trying to reach some mythological expectation that was not ever meant to be a way that anyone should live.
Right.
No one. It doesn't work. It does not work.
I agree.
I know there was this gentleman, my relative reached out to me, and for another relative who is really sick, and he's pretty decently wealthy, and one of his brothers had asked, well, I just don't understand why they're not able to heal him. He's a valuable asset to the company, but he still has this issue after all these years. And I was like, well, a big part of it is you cannot have an expectation that someone can heal you, because they can't.
No one can.
You have to learn how to get control and take control of yourself. And that is the only time. And you have to be so determined with that journey with yourself that nothing else matters. Nothing.
Because it doesn't. Like, if you don't have, and that's why I say health is wealth, because if you don't have your health, you talk to any billionaire in the world who's in his 50s and dying of cancer or some other disease, I bet you that he would trade all that money in order to get time, because time's like our most valuable asset, and you want a high quality of living as you go through your existence.
Yeah, that is so true.